Welcome back to Roadside Nuggets. I am Georgie Boy, here with 5D Full Disclosure this evening with y'all on a Sunday, November 7th. So, how's everybody floating around out there? I know it's definitely a lot of waterworks, a lot of deep turning around, going around underneath the surface, deep churning. The emotional waters are on the move. So I definitely can feel the energies in the collective getting a lot more, getting thicker as the days roll on by, and definitely it's definitely another one-shot thing. Okay, I want to definitely rehard everybody on this. It's not a one-and-done thing. It's not going to just end tomorrow. These are things that need to purge from your being. Therefore, it requires your attention and focus. So if you think you can just sit there and bypass it, push it out of your experience, this is going to kind of bite you in the ass a little bit, okay? It's going to be a different kind of scenario for you that's going to teach you a lesson of how to embrace yourself more fully. All right, so today's it's going to be a little steamy today. Definitely, it's going to trigger some people, and that's good. That's awesome. We love triggers. We move forward with triggers. We can evolve and heal with triggers. We can see the truth with triggers. So, today definitely Angels presented a interesting topic. We've been over this topic before, interestingly enough, over probably about 2 years ago, definitely with the team at that time, with mom and what was going on. And it was a very important topic that we talked about and went through. The team went through a massive transformation, and it lasted actually for a couple of weeks. And it came back around multiple times, I remember, throughout the years on Mission 2. And that is what we call blame on God or hatred to God, okay? And this is an important fact because in order to obtain your divinity, humanity, you have to take full accountability, full responsibility for everything. If there are still parts of you that are putting it on God, that are still expecting God to fulfill this part of the role for you, when it is fully your purpose of why you're even here to do that yourself, this is a big place we have to make that jump. We have to bridge that gap within ourselves immediately. Okay, because there's no longer this whole shelf that we've been obsessing over our whole life. Like, oh, well, yep, that's their fault, that's God's fault. God can do this, God's supposed to do this, God's responsible for this, God's supposed to give me this. And because I don't have it, this is where I'm at, this is why I am the way I am. Right? That whole stupid story has dried itself out completely. It's exhausted itself. There is no more sustenance left in this life that is going to sustain you anymore, living in the illusion of the lie. You're going to have to wake up, okay? And as all these things crumble around you because they cannot be sustained anymore, you're going to come to the rude awakening that, you really need to reevaluate what you have attached and depended and relied on this entire time to this point, okay? And so the belief systems, the lies we've told ourselves, the lies we live by, that we can get by the day with, that we can get by the years with how we are and how we choose to live our life and what justifies that way of being, right? And there's so many different excuses we can come up with, right? And ultimately, pain and suffering, victim consciousness, that's like one of the biggest ones that humanity falls to very quickly in order to justify where they are or why they are acting the way they are or why they have chosen what they have chosen. Right? As if that is an actual alibi. No, it's not. You're still responsible and accountable, right? But humanity's still stuck in this linear time frame, right? Where they think everything is happening to them. They have no part of it. They didn't do anything. Something happened to the camera. That's funny. As soon as I said this, humanity think they're a part of it. It's like the screen split. It's like the whole screen just froze. 1 moment. Let's see. Maybe I have to turn up the phone or something. I don't know. It's weird. Did it die?
No, it's fine from this end. I logged it out.
It logged out?
Yeah, like when I tried to reset it.
Oh, okay.
How do you look? Does it have the login on here?
And it should have to switch your app on there.
It's not logged in.
At all?
No.
I was just logged in on there. That's wild.
Oh wait, yeah. Okay. Oh no, it's connecting. It just connected to the iPad automatically.
Okay.
1 second.
1 moment, people. We're gonna get it back online. We have the divine Archaea Hopi helping out.
This stuff.
Bringing love back online for us all to receive. Thank you, Divine Feminine.
It's like,
Is it still
okay,
loading?
well, automatically. It's connecting. Now it's like, okay, yes, connect automatically. So it's doing a spinny thing. I'm waiting for it to connect. This is weird. It's like glitching.
We got whisperings and like Mary's like hand scrapings in the background right now.
I'm done.
You're fine, beautiful. I'm just laughing about like the whole thing. You're totally fine.
Damn, I don't know
beautiful.
if you have to restart the whole thing, because it's like, no, it's here.
Maybe I will. Where's that other phone at? Maybe we can just add that other phone on and maybe see if that will connect. It should be charged.
Smells like.
This one's not like automatically connecting either.
What
Oh wait, okay,
happened?
now it's back.
It's back. Yay! It's back. Okay.
But you're black on the screen.
There we
Is it back now?
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, are you zooming in and out yourself?
Yeah. That should be good. That should be good. All right. Cool. Thank you, beautiful. I love you so much. All right, folks, we are back online. Angels, please help me pick up where we were at. So, okay, blame on God. So, going back to that, so the deflection and the projection onto God and our responsibility and not willing to step up to that plate has left an enormous gap within us to where it has allowed the ego to completely run rampant and completely create its own belief systems. And so going forward into a new paradigm, a new reality completely, that is of love entirely, something that we've been operating mostly without, there requires massive change within the human behavior and our choices, okay? And even with our way of understanding, even the way we see things, how we understand, where we fit into it, where we come into play in life and creation, what our role. Oh shit, I think the phone just died again. What just happened? Man, is the cabal like trying to take it out or something? Okay, managing.
It's, just the phone just died.
Whoa, that's crazy.
I didn't even think it
I know one of the chargers wasn't working today.
See if this one's important. Okay, it's working.
All right, let's everybody say it together. I transform all resistance.
It's charging now. It's just
Okay. Anyways, the picture will come back on right at some point. So I'm going to continue with everybody. So thank you everybody for being so patient and beautiful. So basically going forward with the projection onto God, it gives us this very big gap where the ego can justify itself in our actions and choices. What we basically that, oh well, they did this so I can get away with this. It helps the ego justify and destroying integrity of the soul. Respect, honor, truth, integrity, all those are part of the divine traits. And where the ego bypasses this and makes the human being feel justified and not, stepping up to this plate, not even accepting this as a part of themselves, it is very much a part of your divinity, And so where we expect God to do all these things, and we are the reflection of God. That is the same reflection responsibility for yourself. And so the amount of lack of integrity, the amount of deception we have upon ourselves, it allows us to not be able to see a higher timeline. It allows us not to be able to see the higher perspective, or even see a higher being in each other. Because we're left to this redundancy where we are constantly attaching to old reflections, old illusions and belief systems, things we're not letting go of. And where we expect God to change the world, change reality, change the planet, change human dysfunction, change take our fears away, to save us from our problems, where we are not actually taking accountability of the choices we are making and the thoughts we are having and the emotions we choose not to let go of. That is actually a cause and part of very much the suffering that God is not a part of. God is not incurring that upon humanity. Right? And so where we have a big chip on our shoulder with God, there's a lot of people on this planet walking around with a lot of weight that they're throwing off on God and saying that it's God's fault that they're here right now. It's God's fault that humanity's in this mess, that God's not saving us, God's not doing God's part and taking care of, the travesty and the fear and the war and everything. I remember that was a big part of where a lot of people were struggling with, faith and in churches and things back with, going to Iraq and Afghanistan, and a lot of people going back and forth. It's like, well, if God is God and God, loves us, why is God allowing these wars to happen? It's like, and this constant dissociation. It's like you make a choice through your own will, and then if it doesn't go so well, then it's God's fault when it's not okay. But when it's good, you want all the credit, and that's a very big point to make. It's like you cannot play this tip-tap-toe dance with, creation with truth. You have to stand in it fully, 100% in integrity, and be willing to be that representation. Not only use it when it suits you, when it benefits you, when it makes you look good. That's not when you only be truthful. That's not when you only stand in truth. It's when it makes you shine and you look all good in front of it. It's like, no, even the darker parts that are true, that provide deeper awareness and insight. That's also what you need to stand in. And the fear, the pride, and the arrogance of not wanting to be in that space, not wanting to take responsibility and accountability for the more darker parts of humanity, for the lesser favorited parts of what our behavior is a part of. That's our disassociation, where we're like, oh, well, God will take care of all the overwhelming parts because I don't want to look at that. God didn't choose to do that in the first place. That was humanity. So we don't get to displace our responsibility of what we have caused for our own self, right? And it's a big part of our transformation and healing going forward. And if you ever hope to reach 5D, you're definitely going to, long before we even get on that bridge and making it there, this is a big truth that you're going to have to accept within yourself. It's realizing that God is everything in all things. However, you have your own choice, and you are left to your, not necessarily karma, but to your co-creation with God, right? The experience that you wish to bring into reality, to create for other people, right? And of course, God uses everything for the highest. Not necessarily saying that God is telling you what to do, but if you choose to be a lower being, then of course, God's going to use every single opportunity in that experience for other beings to move higher. God will use everything for the highest. It's just like, it's not God causing the problems, the pain and suffering, the fear, the travesty, but God also will not leave out any opportunity to flip it for the highest as well, to make sure that that energy comes back home, comes back to love, always comes back to truth, never gets lost. That's important, because it's also a part of our trait as well, and what we need to not adopt, but we need to embody within our own human behavior. It is something that is innate to us. It's natural. We've just been away from it for so long, it doesn't feel that way. It's not something robotic. It's not something that you study. It's not something you brainstorm and get good at memorizing. It's literally a natural human behavior to be that in tune and move with the flow of creation and life and what is highest in that moment. We've fallen off from that. We've been pulled from that connection with all kinds of different things. But we don't have excuses. All we have right now is just the solution and what we are willing to do to apply ourselves moving forward, right? So, before I get on to the next topic, I'm going to check this phone, see if the phone is charged a little bit. Probably sure if it has. Let's see. It's on now. It should be. Alright. I think it should be coming up. There we go. Beautiful. Alright, thank you though. Alright, folks, and we're back. Coolio. Check the Facebook real quick.
Did he get back on?
Yeah.
Oh, it's good.
Thank you, loves.
Okay, love you.
Love you. Alright, we have picture again, folks. Yay! Alright, so going back into that. So I have a cool video I'm going to jump into. So thank you all for your beautiful patience. So this is going to be your treat for waiting through all that stuff. So this is going to definitely tie into more of what I'm digging at right now, and definitely kind of put more of a picture for you all to visualize with yourself and just kind of really just feel into this. Don't go into the whole analytical, don't think into it, and definitely, of course, with, you know, the world we live in, a lot of beings still reference God as he, right? So we know, you know, God, you know, Prime Source Creator, God is a woman as well. So like that, the whole thing, it's taking the whole idea, however, it's connecting with the public, okay? So if anyone's never seen the movie The Shack, I really, really strongly encourage you to watch the movie. It's definitely very powerful, and definitely it helps bridge that gap, you know, with a lot of people that like have different deep questions, and definitely certain parts of the human experience thus far that human life has had, that they've debated on their connection with God or their acceptance. You know, and so definitely this is part of that wrestle, and also too with the constant argument about, you know, God being a man, and, you know, all that, and not being a woman, is God a woman, and all these different things. It helps tie a lot of that together, and it very beautifully, tactfully helps give this to the public, and also still tie in the whole reference to the he God that everyone's so, you know, very much used to, familiar, conditioned with. So it helps make that a stronger resonance. You know, they can receive that, right? It's impossible to sit there and try to shove something that's a higher conscious down someone's throat. But now if you can go up and down that spectrum, make sure that it plugs into the collective and they have a way to move up it. Now that's brilliance. That's genius right there, right? So I really feel this is strong for everybody. I feel this would be really cool. It's just a little part, but definitely if you... the beginning is a little intense, okay? I cut out a lot of the other stuff. It's not a scary movie at all. Absolutely not. I would not show you all that movie, any movie like that. But definitely the nature of this scene, and definitely what the woman is getting at, it definitely is of a very definitely intense part of our experience. Of course, we talk about different things that are a part of disclosure every day. So, you know, definitely if it's a trigger for you, if it's hard for you to watch this, a little bit of it, or it definitely is intense, just breathe through it, breathe through your nose, out your mouth. You know, it's going to be fine. You know, it definitely has a deeper meaning, and it helps definitely tie into what I'm getting at with this. Okay, so give it a moment.
Okay, that's enough.
Is that man guilty?
I would damn him now.
And what of his father? The man who twisted him into this deviant monster.
I would damn him too.
How can you stop there? Doesn't the legacy of brokenness go all the way back to Adam? And what about God? Isn't he at fault? He set all this in motion. Especially if he knew the outcome.
You want me to say it? Absolutely. God is to blame.
Well, If it's so easy for you to judge God, you must choose one of your children to spend eternity in heaven. The other will go to hell.
I can't.
Can't do what? I'm only asking you to do something you believe God does. So, who will go to hell? You could choose Kate. She said some pretty hurtful things. She shuts you out. You're not even sure if she loves you anymore. Or, you could choose Josh. He's being disobedient, sneaking out, lying to you. You didn't know that. Mackenzie, make your choice.
I don't do this anymore. I can't do this.
Can't do what?
I can't. I won't.
You must.
This isn't a game.
You have to.
You know what? This isn't fair.
You must.
It isn't fair. I can't. Take me. I'll go instead of them. I'll take their place. You take me. I'll go in their place. You leave my kids alone and you take me.
Mackenzie, you've judged your children worthy of love. Even if it costs you everything. Now you know Papa's heart.
Thank you. No sound. So, anyways, what I was saying before that, so definitely this is, it points forward, towards, that image of, God is always creating. God is always, moving forward the creation. And definitely when she was referring to Papa, now you know Papa's heart, and our reference, what we refer to as, Mama's heart. The mother, divine mother, God's essence, her heart, for her children is that, definitely God does not choose. God isn't like that. God doesn't choose who goes to heaven, who goes to hell, who suffers, or who has a beautiful life. God doesn't make those choices. Everything is left to what your soul is choosing in any active moment, right? And so the experiences that we have and the soul contract that we took on, that is all up to you. It's all up to you and your experience and what you choose. It's what you choose to move forward with, right? Nobody else can make choices for you in that matter. And so when it comes down to like you moving forward, evolving, becoming more than just a human being, what you've defined as a human being in this reality, and understanding that there's a bigger picture. There's a much bigger picture at play going on here where everybody is connected, everyone is involved, and everybody matters. And you can't shut one person out and say that you have the whole truth. You can't leave anybody out and say that you have the total love. It's not real. right? It's part of the illusion. So moving forward, and I love the way that this scene definitely, and I don't probably like mute that part on the stream. Facebook's like horrors like that, but anyways, definitely in that part, it brings home, that perspective. Whereas like, the guy in that video, he definitely has, he has the role of like, he doesn't have God's role. He took on his belief system of who he thought God was and what he thought God does. And then he had the flip of the experience, because it's so easy to project onto God. It's so easy to project onto other people. But the moment when you get into that hot seat, the moment you sit down in that same situation, wearing those same shoes, in the same situation with the same projections you gave, then all of a sudden it's a different experience. Then all of a sudden you can't do it, but it was so easy for you to put that on somebody else to do. You see? And this is how we've gotten away from ourselves for so long, gotten easy and bypassing, denying things by just putting it off on other people and not even understanding the weight of that responsibility. And so in that scene, definitely, the woman, she flipped it on him. She put him on the throne. She's like, okay, if you think you can judge God, then you sit on the throne and you judge God. You decide as God what you feel going forward, as you believe God, what God does. You decide going forward what's best now. And he couldn't make that choice. You couldn't make that decision, right? One, because that's not what God does. And she clarified that for him at the end. She's like, that isn't God. That's what you believe God does. That's not really who truly God is and what God does, right? And so there's this massive misconception that humanity has with their creator, with their own divine self, their higher self, with their own being, their own divinity. A disassociation occurring, where we put so much blame and responsibility and weight of our own misery and grief onto the higher power, yet we're not willing to step up and find the solutions either, right? And that's why. Because we're leaving to somebody else to do for us. We're leaving to God to handle for us, leaving to God to heal and come save us, right? So then we don't do it for ourselves. But once you can step into that role, once you can realize that you are responsible, you are accountable, and the same things that you would put on God, God is the same as you. God is you. You are God, right? And so the same thing that you hold God accountable for and responsible for, you best be prepared to hold yourself accountable and responsible for first and foremost. And that's something that a lot of people are not prepared to do. They're not prepared to allow themselves to be in that space where they can face themselves in that kind of way, in that nature, and embrace that transparency. It's much easier to give it on to somebody else. It's much easier to blame somebody else for the faults and the things that aren't going so well. Therefore, you can stay in this state of complacency and just oh, well, it's not me, Again, this is a lot of humanity's, travesty, manipulation, and deception go on for so long, where we have corrupted our own values. We have corrupted our own sense of truth. We have corrupted our own sense of responsibility and what dignity even is, respect, truth. What does that mean for you anymore? What is that weigh for you anymore? When you move out into the world and you go about your day at work and everything like that, how quickly do you let it bypass? How quickly do you let truth just fall out of your hands and just so quickly accept the lie? Because it's easier, it's more satisfying, it seems more tempting, it looks better, it's more accepted by everybody else. These moments are coming down to a certain point in this year, humanity, where the pressure is on, and definitely as you can feel with the day, as we move into the night and move into tomorrow, the energies are getting thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker, and they're not letting up. Nothing is changing. Oh dang! I don't think she left it here. And nothing is changing. It's gonna keep entering that deep depth, right? We have a whole lunar eclipse coming up very, very soon, and that's on the 19th of November. That's a lot of powerful energy. We have the 11/11 portal coming up. You have no idea. The energies are already this thick right now. It's already up to your neck. You're submerged in it. And we have yet more higher, intense energetic portals coming. Do you see why I've been sharing everything in the weeks and days before this, getting everybody aware as possible, letting you know, hey, this is coming. Because once we're in that energy, there's nothing you can do. What you have prepared before, what you've gotten ready, and what you have worked on yourself before, that's all you've got. Moving forward, now you just got to stick to it and be as solid and stable as possible as you move with the process that is already on your plate. Okay? So, definitely, this requires a lot of self-nurturing, a lot of love, a lot of patience, being more present with yourself, and allowing things to flow and release. The more you allow to release, the quicker the experience moves along, right? The more you bulk down and then you go down into your little hole, you're like, nope, I'm not releasing, I'm not giving it up, I'm gonna go to my grave, I'm gonna be in like deep depression, It's like a lot of people are just like, oh, okay, this gives me another excuse to be emo. Yep, I get to go, dive down the dark cave into despair and disappointment and sorrow and, type about my pitiful story every day on, Facebook and get people's sympathy and yada, 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 yada. Yeah, you feel drained. That is like gross energy. So, flipping that up. All right, so, definitely we're getting to that point, definitely we're, in this point of energy, after we've moved through the whole new moon in Scorpio, after we've come through the whole, the 6, with the grief cap getting tapped off, that's definitely been exploding since yesterday. And definitely as the energies have been making their way through the waterworks, a lot of people feeling very sluggish, heavy, definitely very emotional, a lot of things coming up. People definitely don't feel okay, they're distressed, a lot of deeper awarenesses that are disturbing to people too. Even the truth can be such a shock to you. Once you get it, once you make the connection with yourself, it can actually be disturbing, for you. Once you realize where you're at in reference to the truth you just realized, you're like, holy shit, it can be disturbing and kind of like a panic shock to a lot of people. And so definitely a lot of that coming through right now as people are making connections. And then as soon as you realize, whoa, I'm off track, then the grand movement back to alignment begins, and you start seeing the collective, as soon as the collective gets like, holy shit, and then they're like making the speed bullet train back to the track, and like, we got to get on track, right? So everyone's, making those shifts and movements right now, moving back to alignment, getting online for, as we pummel through these energetic gates and portals coming up, and also that energetic portal of the lunar eclipse, 2 days left of Scorpio season before we end that. On those last 2 days, we had that powerful eclipse just to end Scorpio season. It is going to leave a mark. It's going to leave a mark of divinity, and it's going to leave a mark of change. Deep. With coming on that last 2 days of the Scorpio season before we complete it, it's definitely going to be the staple to the envelope. It's going to make sure that thing sticks. Okay? So, everybody get prepared. Get your floaties ready. There's gonna be a lot of waterworks coming through, and it's grand. Definitely allow to come through. Allow that, and definitely a lot of people resist this. This is where people who have deep addictions and obsessions start to go deeper into those addictions and obsessions, because they can literally feel in almost like a sixth sense way. They can feel like some kind of intensity or some kind of like pressure like rising within them, and it's starting to make them feel or become more sensitive in different ways, and they don't like that. They're used to being able to control, they're used to being able to shut out, they're used to be able to hold off, and this is what they're used to be able to shut it off. So this is what they're going to resist and try to be stubborn with and push back a lot, right? So again, this is gonna be a massive trigger for the collective. Just embrace, accept, allow, and allow this energy to come through and really push it out. Okay, with so much suppression, with so much stubbornness that you have within you, a lot of times we need an equal opposite force to counteract that force, and set it backwards, because we're going so far one way. We're so determined, we're so stubborn, we're so arrogant, we're so prideful, we're not willing to give it up. We're going to go even if it means our detriment, even if it's to our own sabotage, our own destruction of ourselves. We are so prideful, we're willing to do it, right? We can't let go. And there's a lot of beings on the planet that are stuck in that kind of momentum where they can't break back. What is going on? The energies... The energies do not like the truth today. Is like, look at my face.
Oh my god. Classic Georgie face. You're fine on here, so I don't get it.
They're crazy. Yeah, I'll take off that phone again and put it back on. See, maybe.
Okay, it's going.
It's not coming on. Is it still spinning?
It's there right now.
There we go. Beautiful. Cool. Thank you, love.
Yep.
All right. Damn it. Technology, AI, get it together. We don't care if you're breaking down. At least hold it together until you're out. All right. So, just moving forward. So, we are at 35 minutes. Let's see. Yeah, let's just do that because we're already at 40 minutes. There's been a lot of technology interruptions. So we're gonna get the cards out real quick, and then I'm gonna do number, and then the card pulling. Let's see. What's the number gonna be, Angels? All right, I got my numbers. So number 1 through 100. Guess the number. Feel into it. Ask your angels. Fill into your heart space what number that is. And then post in the Facebook chat what number you want to pick. Those of you that are on Telegram, you can go back to the original chat room where all the posts are in. And the last post I put in there about joining this chat as a listener, you can comment in that box underneath. Go ahead and put your number in there, what you want to choose. If you can't figure out the comment part, go ahead and just press the mute button to send me a little blue figure to talk. And then you can just share with me the number you want to choose. But I have already picked the number. And then I'm going to go get the cards right now, and we'll be back in a moment. So, everybody go. Oh, there it is. I was like, where is my notebook at? I know I had the notebook. Alright. I'm writing down a number. I already picked it. I'm just writing it down. And then I'm going to play a little bit of music. We're going to give it a couple more moments for everyone to give a number real quick. I think I'm just going to play the beginning theme music for this real quick. I'm going to go smoke a grounder and then give everyone a couple more moments to do the numbers, and we will start with that. We'll do a collective pulling first, and then we'll pull whoever guesses the right number for that. All right, so give it one momento. Ooh, that speaker's oh, yeah. All right, cool. All right, be back in one moment. let's look at the numbers, folks. So, I picked... Actually, let me just cut it off because people are still commenting numbers, so I won't share just now. I'll wait. If more people are going to keep putting numbers, I'll wait. I'll give y'all a couple more moments. Ooh, got a couple close ones. Oh, I don't know who's going to guess the right number. All right, let me go over check on Telegram's comments. All right. I don't know who you are, Glenn Halls, but we're not really interested in ballots right now. we're more interested in numbers for card pulling. If you want to participate, you can. But definitely we're not interested in ballots. That is all going to resolve itself in due time. And definitely the external experience is not going to complete itself before you admit the truth to yourself. So if you're waiting for things to save you from yourself, it's not going to happen. You're going to have to step up, get your britches, find your balls, pull your big boy pants up, and definitely get with the program. We're not worried about who's going to be present, all this different. It's gonna happen how it's going to happen, right? But the best outcome is only going to happen when you choose it for yourself. And if you're not choosing it for yourself, why are you concerned about the big outcome happening? Because you don't want to be a part of it, right? It's just the simple fact of simplicity and being real with yourself. You know, you're worthy of love. You're worthy of truth. Okay, respect yourself and honor yourself enough to face the truth, enough to give that to yourself, and therefore life can give it to you. If you can't even give it to yourself, why are you expecting God and everything else walking around here to be that for you? If you can't make that commitment and loyalty to yourself, right? That's the truth. You know, you got to be in integrity with yourself and what you are. And it definitely kind of goes along the lines with that old saying is like, treat others how you wish to be treated. You know, and that saying, what is going on? This is nuts.
Don't tell me it did again.
Yeah, it did. I have no idea what's going on.
If you just reset it from your end, because I didn't touch it last time, if you just reset it, it should work.
Okay.
Last time you just did it all yourself. And it went back.
Definitely a good trigger test because I'm not getting triggered. I'm just kind of like, what is... I'm trying to understand, like, what is the issue with the technology today? It's never done this before, but I guess we just go with, I guess the truth is just too hardcore today. It's like, it's making the technology short circuit. Don't want to accept the blame to God, do we, humanity? Huh? It's all good. We'll get it, people. Yeah, it's not working. I'm going to reset the phone. And then we're just going to jump to cards because I think the technology is about to, like, lose it right now. Error. Cannot compute. Dysfunction. Alright, let's see how this one goes. It's all good. Whether people want to receive or not, we're going to be here, sunshine or rain. And going to give it to you anyways. Because God's got I told you so buttons. And when we get there, we're going to be saying I told you so. Alright? So, alright, moving forward. So, alright, let's get to the number. I'm going to call it, I don't see any more number comments. So, the number is 23. And I saw the last comment on both sides, so don't try to cheat. Alright? So, it's number 23. And I'm going to go through the comments and look at it. Everybody be in integrity. We just talked about it, okay? It's your test. Integrity and honesty. All right, let's see. What do we got with the numbers? Who got it? All right. Ooh. Let's see. laugh at me. I have to count my fingers. I'm not really good with math. I'm a very etheric person. When it comes to math and science, it's like, you know what? Can we just skip this part in evolution and not do with it? Because I feel it's kind of stupid. But let's just move forward with this. Press through. So I feel we got one person. Some people were like really, really close. So I have to kind of make sure that the number differences between the numbers are not the same. But yep, with the success of my numbers, or with the success of my fingers, the winner is Danielle. Woo! So, love, you won the card pulling and the Oracle tapping. So we're gonna get to that before the technology tries to pull the plug again. And you know, we're having really high winds and stormy weather today, so that might be part of the whole thing too. I don't know shit. We just go with it. We flow. All right. So, card pulling for Miss Danielle. Let's see, angels. What have we got in store? Let's see. All right. Dun, 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 dun. And what do the angels have to share? And the card is... I'm just kidding. It's not that bad. So it's number 6, and it is Beaver Spirit. Lay a solid foundation. That's solid. That's solid advice right there for everybody right now, and definitely in these energies we are in, and these murky, muddy, mucky waters. Get that solid foundation to stand on so we can go through all this mess. Okay, so number 6, moving forward. Let's see, what does number 6 got for us? What you got for us, Beaver Spirit? So, Beaver Spirit, lay a solid foundation. Beaver Spirit is here to tell you about a power living within you that is born of spirit, the source from which all life arises. This is the power to establish the sacred connection with the universal consciousness so you can deliberately co-create the world you desire. Know that it takes work, determination, and sustained effort to co-create and lay a solid foundation for your dreams. If, with Spirit as your partner, you bring the twigs and branches of your intentions and desires and spread them across the river of time, you'll be amazed at what you can do. You will find that you can even change the direction of the flow of life. You can ensure that your world will be prosperous and purposeful, filled with love and joy, and rich with magic and meaning. That which you desire will come to you and remain sustainably if you build on a sturdy foundation. Keep your intention and energy consistent and deliberate, using all your resources and the energy of this wonderful, productive time. Have faith. For with Spirit to co-create with you, your success is assured. Spirit is your partner, helping you along as you change the course of your life in the way your heart desires. Beaver Spirit has come to warn you to check for rotten wood in the foundations of your dreams. Perhaps you built your hopes on faulty promises or wishful thinking, that something would work out just because you wanted it to. Maybe you made choices from a place of unworthiness, hoping that once you got what you desired, it would somehow change you and make everything better. And you had to face the truth that it didn't. Or Beaver Spirit may be telling you it is time to accept things as they are, and perhaps consider abandoning the project, relationship, or situation so you can make room for something better. Perhaps you need to go back and rebuild a solid foundation, because what you desire may not be in alignment with what your soul intends. Beaver Spirit says you can always get busy and build something fresh and new if the desire is true. All manner of miracles can spring up from a new, strong foundation when you remember your partnership with Spirit. And why? Who just tried to call? Be clear about what... Oh man, so much interruptions today. Excuse me. Someone just tried to call the Facebook thingy. Back to where we were. Be clear about what you're building and why. Go away, whoever that is. Like, I don't... Whoever Kraken is, like, fuck off. Not the time right now. Be clear about what you're building and why. Choosing from a place of worthiness, well-being, and wholeness. Self-understanding and acceptance will provide you a solid blueprint to begin again. Get busy now. Beaver Spirit says this is not a time to procrastinate, but a time to start building again. Always heartful with the foundation you are laying, trusting that Spirit is co-creating with you. Beautiful. All right. Okie dokie. Grateful. All right. Disobedient, like out of flow, misaligned atoms, get back into right action. Because like the whole thing today, no, not doing it. Let's go collective. Let's get on the same page. Moving forward. All right. So Danielle, beautiful. Let me ask angels real quick for you. Let's see. Where are you at? Okay, you're up here. All right, Danielle. All right, Danielle, beautiful. So mom's got a message for you. She wants to share with you no more playing the guessing game with yourself, okay? The intimidation that you feel, love, is really ultimately a buildup of a lot of your own lack of choosing, okay? And every time you don't choose, every time you don't step up, it builds pressure. And that intimidates you internally, where you can feel that pressure and the constant confusion and not being able to make a choice, okay? Even if you don't feel confident, you got to be willing to trust yourself. You got to be willing to have faith. You got to be willing to be brave, have courage. You got to be willing to choose one of those to work with moving through the experience until you arrive to the answer. You have bravery, courage, you have trust, you have hope, you have faith. You have, imagination and dreams. There's so much within divinity that you can utilize within yourself to help you make that journey into, the truth and the awareness, the success, right? And so definitely, the intimidation of yourself and, playing the guessing game, dancing around within yourself and trying to overanalyze and overthink things. You're getting the test now to jump. And mom wants you to jump now, okay? The experiences you are going through right now, they are meant for you to jump. They don't make sense right now on purpose. They don't connect on purpose. They are very new and unfamiliar on purpose because you need to jump. That is your lesson in this moment, is to jump in faith and trust and know that you're going to make it every time, okay? What you tell yourself, what the ego rambles on within your mind of the different faults or what could happen, the lower experiences or all the different travesties that are possible, God doesn't live in that realm, okay? God lives in the realm of all highest possibilities and the grandest opportunities, experiences for all of life through love, right? And so that is God's role, and that's God's, whole perspective on the thing. So if you trust that, if you can accept that for yourself, then know that that is what you will be manifesting every time, and you'll be moving in that direction. Okay. So a lot of it is just unresolved decisions within yourself. The angels share, really. The old attachments will fall away very quickly. Okay. They're not really that strong to where like you have to fight through your attachments, and your experience and what they're sharing is where the attachments are for you. A lot of it is just dictated off of you not being able to make a choice and move forward with it. As soon as you move into that lane and you can start applying that for yourself, the attachments of what you've been using to kind of justify why you haven't will easily fall away because you haven't really invested too much in that. And it's a lot of what you have transformed over time. So you're in a really amazing spot to make a big breakthrough. But you also have to push now, okay? But also with what the card we just pulled too is having a solid foundation. So if you're going to push, what are you going to push with? Are you going to push with new ideas? Are you going to push with a new sense of self, a new trust, a new foundation, a new confidence within yourself? Or are you going to push with the old you and get the same results now, right? So the angels are guiding you to push, and they're also telling you to build a strong foundation. What are you going to push off of as your foundation? What's going to be your launching pad? You got to know both ends and make this a reality for yourself, okay? So that's what mom and the angels are really pinging for you. and just bringing for your awareness. Anything else, angels? And follow through. That falls along what we just talked about. The angels are pinging on follow through. So I guess, of course, with indecision and not being able to move forward, making a choice for yourself, feeling confident or trusting in that, needing others to help you feel confirmed or validated in that choice, you have deeply, self-sabotaged the follow through with yourself. The ability to follow through with a choice, follow through with an action, and to complete it. Have that closure with yourself. There's a lot of falling away, burning out, losing motivation, losing passion, losing inspiration along the way, and just kind of not really going back to it anymore. Just falling off with things. And this creates an energy within yourself of sense of failure, a sense of not enough, a sense of you can't do it, lack of capacity. And it's not really true. It's just what you've manifested in that current experience for yourself. It's what you're showing yourself. It's not really what you are, who you are, right? So as soon as you step up and take accountability, start pushing yourself more, and realize that you do have the power to change this, all the emotions, face them. Everything in your way that you don't feel that you can do this, you don't feel like you have, what it takes. If nobody else supports you, if nobody else is there to approve of you or accept you, that you can still do this on your own and still trust yourself that you will be okay. You got to be able to know that for yourself and know that that is a yes. Because it's a yes for everybody. Okay? So, I feel that's going to be it for you, love. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'm going to go all the way up at the top and read some messages. Facebook Live, take 2, and we're back. Yep. A lot of back and forth, Okay, so Brennan says, okay, so what about when you take accountability for things you didn't even do? I feel as a divine masculine that's been through it, sometimes it's even easier to just show surrender and love and assume accountability even if you didn't do it. We're all at a point of frustration with the old shit. I take full accountability for all out of alignment atoms in my reality. It's a good point to take. However, this also is a very deep road that leads to martyrism and savior programming that we also have to point out as well, because this is an outlet for everyone's pain and suffering too. Okay? And definitely this is what I've seen a lot of people either who have been on mission or people who have been, connected to mission over the years fall into this ego trap, where it's like taking on full accountability every single time, which bypasses them being able to hold other people accountable for their actions, which is a disservice and a dishonor to your own divinity within yourself and your own self-responsibility and self-love to you. And you don't do anybody any favors or benefits by taking the whole fall every single time, by trying to be the chivalrous, example. No, that's part of self-hatred also. And it's an unconsciousness and manipulation within the self to mean like, I will take the heat for this. I will take the brunt of this. God already took on all that. Right? We don't have to do that. Okay? So, in effort to be an example, help be the representation, yes. In all moments, we are all accountable and responsible. However, do not allow that to be, for people who can't speak up, who can't find their voice, people who don't feel empowered, who struggle with self-confidence and standing in their truth. It is also those people's test and lesson in life to learn how to call out people, how to hold people responsible and accountable for their actions as well. Because it's not just all your fault. It's not just all your responsibility, even though you take on full responsibility. It's not all your responsibility, right? And this is also where how much we look at how much we value ourselves. Do we really think so little for ourselves that we will make ourselves the trash can for humanity and we'll let humanity throw all the shit on us? We'll be like, yep, I'm responsible for all this. But we won't say a single word to any of them. Hey, you probably shouldn't be doing this. Hey, this is not love. Hey, you're fucking God over. Hey, you're not supporting love at all. But we'll be the trash and we'll be the chivalrous, martyr for humanity where they throw all their dysfunction and unuttered words on, right? That's not divinity. That's not honor. That's not loving yourself. That's not truly being God. Because God always has a purpose and a reason. God took that on for a reason, a purpose, because only God can do that. For us in our experience, it's learning to work together. And if you're going to work together with somebody, you have to be open. You have to be clear. You have to be vulnerable. And you have to be communicative. And be willing to express how you feel as well. It's not just about everybody else. It's not just about what they're going through and then put yourself to the side. No. It's about how everyone's feeling, how everyone's going through, everyone's experiences. Because everyone matters. Everyone is valued. Everyone has to make it home. Nobody's exempt from that. So I really agree with you, Brother Brendan. Thank you for pointing that out. But thank you for also, bringing that other part into awareness too, because this is where a lot of people who have been, following us for years or just, on mission before, and this is where the egos grab them at. And it's created this subconscious bypass. We're like, oh, yep, I take full accountability. It's like, really though? Do you really? Have you really felt into the energy? And what is the accountability that you're taking sole responsibility of? And if you're really taking responsibility for it, it means you felt into the energies where you realize it's a bigger picture than just you. It's not just about you. So why is it just you taking full responsibility all the time? Get it? It's a collective movement. And if other people are having trouble stepping up, help support them in being accountable for themselves. And that's tough love. That's respect. That's really honoring somebody and helping them learn how to love themselves more deeply. Letting someone just wallow in the pits of despair and just dysfunction all the time. It's not love. It's actually kind of narcissistic. If you have you have higher awareness and ability to support, assist, and you kind of just you're literally intending to allow someone to be in that lower space of suffering and like that. It's kind of narcissistic at a certain point. You got to look at that. It's like, do I really not give so much a fuck that I really don't care how they're going through it or how they're feeling? It's like you really have to ask yourself that. What is my capacity of compassion for another being and their experience, even though I may not be in that same experience? Can I still feel into them? Can I still respect them for where they are in their soul contract with what they chose to take on, with what I'm not taking on because they're doing it? So can I still respect them for being here, doing the work, no matter what it looks like or how it is, right? They're still here. They didn't commit suicide. They didn't, clock out. They didn't just choose no, I don't want to do anymore. They're still here, okay? And that counts for a lot of things, especially in these energies, right now. So, don't know where I was going with that, but moving forward, so we got Igor, we got Roxy, Brendan, we got Jason. It's okay, you can't see us either, right? It's kind of like a reflection mirror. Roxy, we always take accountability for everything that comes into our awareness. That it's then ours to transform. Love you, brother. Yep. Always hold others accountable as well. We are not martyrs for the collective, and we are not the pincushions for people's bullshit they don't want to look at. Nope. It's time to get your voices back here, man. It's time to get your balls. Time to find your spine. Look, I am responsible, accountable, and so are you. Look at it. Feel into it. It's time to move into the next chapter, people. We are not going to sit in this shit forever, right? All right. So then we got Amy. God gave us free will, so the blame game doesn't work. Absolutely, yes to a fact. Free will is definitely a part of a belief system within a human collective. Humanity has not fully caught up to this part yet where we don't realize that free will doesn't exist. However, it exists within our 3D matrix society. So, but free choice, not exactly free will, but free choice, humanity definitely has. And that choice between the highest or the lowest or whatever you choose, that is up to every individual being on this planet. So that is definitely up to us. And yes, the blame game does not work because everything is solely from, manifested from your actions and choices. Even your thoughts that you've never even told anybody, the thoughts that you keep thinking inside, they are manifesting things into your life. And you're the one choosing to keep having them. So really, who's to blame, right? So we got Missy Craig, we got Bobby, we got Jordan Love, Danielle, we got Pradeep, got Kelsey. Is it movie night? It was for that scene. It was actually a pretty good show. I definitely encourage everyone again to watch The Shack. That movie is bomb.
Ignore me.
Let's see. We got Krista Ponce. We got, what else do we got? Oh, I love you, beautiful. We got Luis. We got Gregory. Love that movie. Grab the tissues. What is the truth that we are trying to find out, Gregory? Pure. It's a lot of truth. You know, basically, is right now the focus is the truth of the self. You know, what is your truth? Do you know it? Are you familiar with it? When was the last time you asked yourself, what is your truth actually in life? Have you even spent moments to invest in that finding of yourself? If you haven't, at this point, it might be a really big red flag that you've been bypassing the most important person in the room, and that's yourself. And that's a big thing. You got to get the move on right now to catch up to speed. You know, where you're at, where you got to be at. Let's see. We got Nelly from Australia. We got Katie. We got, let's see. We got Brianna. We got Beverly. We got Jenna Floyd. We got Taylor. We got Terry. Yep, gotta keep speaking truth no matter what. I don't know who Kraken is, but just stop messaging me. You guys are not paying attention to the stream. Yeah, I opted for study hall over biology. Yeah, like I hate math. I still do. I just have such I swear math is cabal. Like there's nothing. Once the money system falls, like really, are we gonna really need math? Is anyone gonna really care about math once the money goes? Like. Really, what's the obsession? What's the fixation on it? You know, like the abstract, creative art, like you know, anatomy, you know, biology. That's what I was fascinated by, and you know, that's what Bobby was like, you know, resonating with too. Is like biology. You know, it's like you know, in science, biology was probably my favorite subject. Human anatomy and animal biology and things like that. You know, what's real, what's created, what is life. You know, understanding that's where I'm fascinated. And not like some. Like, I hated physics class. Physics was probably the worst class of my whole high school career. I probably, died in physics class, trying to understand how they put a letter and a number in the same equation, and they're trying to tell me it's going to equal an answer. I'm like, you got to be shitting me. I don't know who came up with this, but, they're retarded. I don't know how this solves any problem in life. This makes it more difficult, you know? The agony of trying to understand that. And the calculators made it more confusing. You think you got a calculator to do the equations with? I was even more confused looking at the calculator with all these different numbers and buttons and how you get to certain parts in this TI whatever. I was like, I hate school. I was so rebellious. Let's see. We got Nari on board. What's up, Nari love? Daylight savings has fucked up my timing for stream. Well, we did start a lot later today too, but yeah, we are definitely an hour back as well on top of that. I didn't even remember that when we started stream too. I love you all. Daniel says, trust in self has been a huge hurdle that I've been working on this year. Self-empowerment and stopping the disassociation. Yes, absolutely. You know, and that is a battle too. It's a process, and that definitely don't have expectations with yourself. When you realize you're in that process of literally reclaiming yourself back wholly, you know, don't have expectations how it's supposed to go or what you find when you're digging through that. That's not going to help you at all, you know, and that's just going to make you more flighty, want you to disassociate more, hate yourself more, not want to be here more. The more truth you uncover, you got to make peace with yourself. You got to be willing to accept yourself and love yourself, forgive with any and all things that come to the surface, because you're not there anymore. It's not your life, right? But we still got to go through and clear it, or it's always going to be an issue with us. It's always going to affect us. So definitely honor you, beautiful, for going through that process, being aware of it, acknowledging it, and also pushing through. So definitely get them. I love you. Amy, not holding others accountable is enabling narcissistic tendencies. Absolutely, get them, right? I'll read that again. Not holding others accountable is enabling narcissistic tendencies. Absolutely. It's a disservice to yourself. It means I don't give a shit about myself. I'm going to let the people shit on me the whole time, and I can give a fuck, but I'll give them better. Like, what is that? Absolutely not. If you're going to hold yourself accountable, if you're going to be responsible, you better be willing to hold this other person accountable as well. Even if they are in resistance, you stand in your truth. That's where your confidence comes in. That's where your passion and your purpose, your bravery, your courage comes in. Where you don't back down from the truth just because someone doesn't accept it, someone opposes it. No. You gotta be willing to stand in your truth. Like, look, I respect and honor myself way too much to let you do this shit to me. It's not happening anymore. Fuck off. Set that boundary and move forward, right? But also make sure that you're checking yourself first and foremost, that it's not blame. It's not just the other person. It's not just their fault. It's not they are making you this way. It's not they are making you feel this way. It's not that they are ruining anything. It's a full, total accountability between both parts. But you cannot just be the one individual, the one that takes on all the heat all the time, and think that you are doing what the example is. No, that makes you a martyr now. It makes you a savior. Because now you are stealing the lessons from other people and not allowing them to learn they must take accountability for themselves now. You are stealing their ability to expand and evolve now. Right? So both, it can be a double-edged sword the moment you choose not to stand in your truth and honor yourself. It can definitely be a double-edged sword coming back on you. So good job. I really honor you, Amy, for going through that and just sharing your process and just what your awareness is. It's beautiful. Roxy, I don't get along with math. It has never made sense, and calculators are useless. They are useless. And yes, don't forget to drink water. Drink so much water. There's so much going on right now. Energy's coming in. We're a couple days out from the 11/11 portal. The energies you can already feel are intense today. They're all going to climb higher. So the more water you drink, the more you're going to be able to purge and release. If you leave yourself high and dry, it's going to be like sandpaper with this energy pushing through your body. It's not going to be awesome, okay? Don't blame anybody else for your very, very tense suffering you're going to go through if you're very dehydrated. That's where the headaches, the migraines, the cramps, all the different weird body, uncomfortable feelings start to come in play when the body doesn't have enough water to move the toxins out. It's very dry and it's trying to break up things that need to be purged. And it's not going to stop its process. The body's going to force it. It's going to try to do the best it can with what it's got. But to help yourself out, drink more water and be more hydrated. Okay? So, let's see. There's a cat. Cat loves math. I love math. I did it just for fun growing up. Now I love feeling the numbers talking and oh my god, I can't even, my heart started having issues. It was like, no, not math. No, not the numbers. They scare you. It might be mission trauma. I might actually be that too. Just think all the numbers and having just no, I don't want to see a number at all. I want to see not a number. But I can only see that with you. I flip numbers and like pancakes. I can feel their frequencies, but to add, subtract, blah, blah. Yeah, no. No, hating numbers. I probably should start doing that, on the tap-ins and start doing percentages for people and stuff, and maybe that'll help me transform my resistance that I've developed. I don't know. I'm willing to evolve, whatever it takes for everybody to wake up. I'm willing to take on whatever, so... Hey. So I love all of you beautiful divine folks. Thank you all for being here this evening with us. And definitely, again, we are still a couple days out from November 11th. Just to reward everybody on that day. Everybody who's been on the morning live streams up to that point, in the morning time with Buddha and Jeri, And I guess with Cat and L too.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
And with Cat and L on the weekends as well, up to this point, all your names are getting put in a raffle.
Yeah, because I think it's going to be the 11/11 portal is going to be this upcoming week. Today's like the 6th or the 7th already, so it's in a few days.
Okay. So in a couple of days, we're going to have that raffle on the 11/11 portal for a generator pyramid. I showed it yesterday on the stream. I didn't bring it today. But we've shown them all the time, definitely, it's a massive, powerful technology and definitely a healing mechanism for a lot of different multidimensional purposes. We'd be here all day talking about the benefits, but definitely it's not something new. So for all of you who have been, followers and definitely been following along with us, here's your opportunity to manifest that in your experience. So we're going to be putting all the names of people commenting and participating. And again, this is part of that effort is also to motivate participation, getting people inspired, because a lot of times it's not going to help you just to sit there the whole time watching a video. Okay? Getting interactive, typing that comment, communicating, follow along, asking questions, saying, hey, I'm here, hi, I love you. Like, announce yourself to the world. It's time for you to come out of your shell, connect, communicate with everybody else who's on the same page as you, and stop living in your own little box saying, I'm all alone, and using that as an excuse not to do anything, okay? It's time for everyone to get more inspired, more communicate, more in touch with everybody, and this is definitely a big push for that. So it helps everyone participate, be a part of that. And again, I really feel that technology just hates me talking about really important things. So we're just going to go forward. I hope you love my frozen face because I'm not changing it now. We're going to end stream like this. So, so on the 11/11 portal, we're going to have that going on. So definitely stay tuned, participate, be in attendance. We'd love to see and interact and hear from all of you every day. Definitely this is for everyone. So also on that same day, we also had the start of the Angel Chip workshop. So those of you who have had Angel Chip activation sessions, those of you who are getting Angel Chip activation soon, these classes behoove you to be in attendance to, because the sessions, honestly, we share the chips with you on the sessions and kind of in a general background, but the classes are going to take you deeper in depth and also show you the techniques and different things of how it connects with you, how you can interact and connect this in your own physical life. So this is very important, and for you to understand your chips better, so you understand your roles, your responsibilities, and kind of why your experience is changing the way it is with these chips activating. It's important for everybody. So encourage everyone to participate. That's going to start on the 11/11 portal. And also on the 11/11 portal, 11/11 portal, we're going to also have the, never mind. Scratch that. I was thinking about another date. So, that's coming up. And then also we're having the portal, the actual energy portal on that day too. So lots of action, lots of things going on, lots of energy moving through and coming in. So everyone, get prepared. There's a lot of things coming in. So just stay centered with yourself, love yourself, drink lots of water, be grounded, be clear, hold on until we get to these energies. It's going to get deeper, and again, just to reheart everyone and to reassure, this is why we were talking about this energy days and weeks in advance before we got here, right? Mom was pushing this a long moment before. So now that you're here, and I know a lot of people are kind of starting to get to that panicky point. I know someone reached out today that definitely just need moments just to kind of center and ground the panic, because there's a lot coming up, okay? And no one's saying that you had a pamphlet letting you know ahead of time, hey, this is coming up next. No, that's not really how it works, right? So you just got to be open and embracing, be vulnerable, and when it comes up, you just go with the flow, right? Don't freak out, don't spin out and just lose your marbles. It's okay. You already knew it was coming. We talked about it already. So now that it's happening, doesn't change the follow through, right? We just keep flowing through it. Keep trusting the process. Keep loving yourself. Keep breathing. Keep surrendering. Accept, embrace, and allow. Then forgive and let it go. Okay? I love all you beautiful folks. Take care. The picture fixed itself. Beautiful. Take care of yourselves, and we'll be back tomorrow morning with you all, 6 a.m. Mountain Time and 8 a.m. Eastern Time with Buddha and Jeri tomorrow morning, starting on a Monday. Awesome. And then I'll be back with you all tomorrow evening. Not sure about a podcast tonight. Definitely the storms have been pretty crazy at nighttime. So who knows? But I love you all. Take care of yourselves. And we will see you all again. Mwah.